Oh, God.
Senator Dole.
Where are these guys going to go to swing around and get the other?
They're going to come around this way. That's why all the riders are moved back that way.
By the way, we're going to do, Joe and I will go up and do a little briefing or something. We're going to, that's it for today.
Beautiful.
We'll rip for today and take the radio down.
Hello, Mr. Dole.
Christopher going to the Middle East this weekend, Mr. President?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Christopher going to the Middle East this weekend, Mr. President?
It's entirely possible. We discussed it, and I think he's probably finalized his plans by now. I told him that I wanted him to go there for the beginning of the talks, which start, as you know, on Sunday morning. And he's supposed to go to Africa. I asked him not to cancel the trip to Africa, but to go to the Middle East first. So I'm assuming that those plans were made and that he'll be there in the beginning.
Mr. President, how's the debate training going, sir? And what makes you think you need much training after all the speeches you make and the news conferences you've been through over the last 4 years?
Well, the debates are different because it's not just answering tough questions. It's basically the person you're debating with, the other candidate, plus the interlocutor, plus the time constraints. So that really, you know, Senator Mitchell won last night. I'm badly out of shape on this, but I'm trying to get better. And I woke up this morning and sort of massaged my bruises, and I'm ready to go at it again.
President, when Mr. Dole asked you whether you're going to give whitewater pardons and why your administration has been clouded by ethical problems, what were your response to it?
Well, tune in tomorrow. I'm going to answer the same thing I have already. There aren't any under consideration, and I haven't given any thought to giving any. That's not the issue. I just said I think that nobody should be singled out for special treatment one way or the other, including discrimination against them or discrimination in favor of them. There's a procedure for that everyone follows, and there is absolutely no consideration being given.
President,
the polls on the attack. Do you expect the
They're
Senator?
trying to help you, in that sense, control your temper if you get one. Is that a problem?
Well, no, but I think what we do often is I give the answer I'd like to give, and then I go back and give the answer I should give. Say somebody takes a real broadside at me. No, I think the most important thing is to remember that this debate is as much about the American people and their lives and their future as it is about Senator Dole. So what I want to be able to do is, my objective is fairly straightforward and basically quite simple. I want to make sure that the voters know what the record is, they know what the contrasts are. Senator Dole and me, and most important of all, they know what I'm going to do for the next 4 years. And then they can make up their own mind. I think my goal here is to make sure that people actually get something out of this debate other than just sort of an exercise in who does a better job and not really coming up. I think it ought to be something that's genuinely informative, and that's how to make it.
Well, Mr. President, the polls being the way they are, a lot of people are wondering how much importance this debate really is. What do you think?
I think it's fine. I think the American people care a lot about the country. I think they know we're going through a period of real profound change, and that these decisions we're going to make in the next couple of years will affect our country well into the 21st century.
Do you think you're going to carry Western New York, Chautauqua country, if you will?
I hope so. I've met some awfully nice people here who say they're working for us up here and trying to help us win here. It's unusual, as you know, for a Democrat to carry but I'm hoping we will. I'm sure it's pretty good about that.
Senator, is the president lowballing us when he tells us you beat him yesterday?
Well, I'll say Tell the truth. You kicked me all over the place last night.
Let me say this. I served as majority leader in the Senate for 6 years while Senator Dole was minority leader. So I I've debated him probably more than any other person, and I know just how effective he is. Senator Dole is a highly skilled debater. I think he's going to tough debate on Sunday, but President
What is the
You gotta get going. Thank you.
Mr. President, what do you remember most from the debate 4 years ago? Let's get that in mind.
Oh, there's no question about and the richness and variety and the relevance of the substance of their own lives in the future.
Mr. President, how do you respond to the accusation that your foreign policy is a serious failure?
Hi. X marks the spot.
Are you ready for some kind of a surprise from Mr. Dole? Everybody's talking about he may have a surprise.
I expect he will.
How high are the stakes here?
No. No, I'm just, I did better yesterday. I was better in the golf in the beginning and better in the debate at the end. I did better.
Did you finally beat George Mitchell?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I got him to a draw anyway. He's hard to beat.
You know, a lot of people think these things are not ever won on the substance, but on people's memories of a defining moment. You're looking for a defining moment?
Not especially. I think, you know, the most important thing is, my belief is that people would like it if it were genuinely enlightening, and if we were talking more to them in terms of answering the questions. And I'll do my best to try to make it helpful to the people who watch. And that's kind of what I'm focused on, making sure that when it's over they have a really clear idea of what I want to do, how it relates to what we have done in the last 4 years, how much better off the country is today than it was 4 years ago, but what we still have to do. That's the kind of thing I want to talk about. I want it to be essentially a positive thing. There'll be obviously some clear contrast between Senator Dole and me, but my belief is that people want us to try to talk about building a future, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
Mr. President, how high are the stakes for these debates? It's kind of stopped the campaign momentum for a moment. It's got you focused. How high are the stakes for you and for Senator Dole?
Oh, I think it's a very important debate because if a lot of people watch it, you know, it could affect their views. But I think that the main thing for both of us is to go be ourselves and do the best we can and let the people draw their own conclusions. And if you start calculating all the other things, I think it just throws you off. You just got to sort of show up and do your best.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Does this say there's no clear leadership in the drug processor?
Oh, well, it's inevitable, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's inevitable. It's a moment in which the American people have a chance to see us both, and that's a good thing.
So what can you tell us about this FBI file story?
Nothing. I don't know anything about it other than what I saw in the paper today.
Okay.
I know nothing about it.
How about the free memo? Does it really say that the administration has shown no leadership in the drug war?
Well, no, the free memo, as I said, was a memo by Louis Freeh to me arguing that the country had never organized, or the federal government had never been properly organized in terms of who had jurisdiction to do what in the drug war, and that's basically what it's about. And he argues for a reallocation of authority, and I thought argued quite persuasively that we needed a way to coordinate this. The Vice President reviewed this as part of our Reinventing Government review, particularly as it related to the drug czar, and one of the reasons I wanted a general who had worked on drug interdiction and as drug czar is to try to create a greater sense of coordination between what the domestic law enforcement agencies, the military, and all the people involved on the prevention and treatment side do together. This is a problem that's been noted for, well, the first evidence we have goes back to President Johnson. We're trying to get all the people involved in it now to work together more closely than ever before. And I think General McCaffrey's in a unique position to get that done because of what he was doing before he became the drug czar. He was the head of the Southern Command, which meant he had responsibility for working with all these countries' military to try to stop drugs from coming into our country in the first place. But this issue has been debated literally going back to the Johnson administration. I've seen documents on it going back to then, and I believe what we're doing now will get us better results than we've had before. And I think that we have to try to do this in a way that recognizes that all these agencies have other legitimate and conflicting interests. So it's very difficult to have, for example, all the domestic and all the foreign issues related to drugs under one particular agency. But it is important to have them all coordinating and working together instead of at cross purposes, which is something people have complained about from the inside of this, literally going, I know, back to the Johnson administration. So we're trying to work it out, and we've tried to respond appropriately.
Was the general support in the response to the memo?